Welcome to Wednesday and welcome to the Contrarians live chat. We are live. We've got a full panel. The topic tonight, when the single sleeve is better than the LP album cover. We're going to take a look. This will be fun. I've seen all the pics. Let's do it. All right, I want to welcome everybody tonight. The chat people are lining up because this is a great topic. This will be fun. We want to keep it interactive. We want to turn you on to stuff. And I'm going to take my glasses off so I look much cooler. But anyway, the panel is here. We've got Martin. We've got Johnny Metal is back. We've got Jamie Laszlo and, of course, Peter Kerr. We are going to talk about the single sleeves of 45s, which we think are probably, well, we may talk about it a bit, are better than the actual album covers. Now, well, this is a loose conversation, you know, it's all in fun. So we do want to hear from you in the chat. So again, welcome panel. Welcome everybody in the chat. Let's keep this interactive and let's have some fun tonight. So we're going to start off with Martin. Martin's first pick is up front. So, Martin, take it away.
Yeah, so there you go. Foreigner head games. Now, this is kind of a funny one. I've got my little 45 of it here as well. There's the back where you can see the back cover, but I've also
Martin, you're going to have to stay on that mic.
Yeah, I will. This is my my framed up head game, so that's what the cover actually looks like. And I picked this one because you know, people really complained about this one. You know, it's not particularly. It's a little sexist, but not really. I mean, it's just she's in the men's room wiping her name off the wall kind of thing. Lou Gramm signed mine right there, which is I'm sure he does that with all of them. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I picked this one because people really did get a visceral dissatisfaction with that original album cover. So here it is, head games. You know, that is kind of a great little joke about head games. She's in the head. You know, right, you know, taking her name off the wall. But this 45 sleeve, you've got sort of a hypnosis thing. And I also thought it was kind of interesting because it reminds me of, you know, how Rainbow is trying to be very foreigner-like. And when you get up to Bent Out of Shape, it's got that same sort of, those guys always talk about seances and night and hypnosis and all that kind of stuff, right? So so this is also a play on head games. So that obviously they put a little bit of work into this. And, you know, had they used this as the cover, maybe they would have got less abuse for it. So that's my first pick. My second pick is Genesis, Invisible Touch. Now, the whole deal with this one is here's your original. That's what your original cover of, or, you know, your album cover of Invisible Touch looks like. I think it's terrible. I've never liked this. It's funny how they've got all these white album covers, right? We've got Duke, we've got Abacab, we've got Three Sides Live, and yeah, so they get this kind of you know, abstract looking deal. So yeah, I thought that this 45 that you're seeing here, and that is the 45-4, the song Invisible Touch, looks much better. It's got that really cool space age sort of font on it with the lines coming off of everything. The funny thing with this is it's such a bouncy, poppy radio song. And that album, that cover looks so deadly serious. That reminds me of almost like AC/DC Back in Black, which I've always said.
Kinda, yeah.
Almost, you know, it makes sense for obvious reasons, Bon Scott dying. But for an album that's such a party album, you know, to have that album cover, it's kind of weird. So this would be very weird. This would cast this whole album in a much different light. Yeah. And then I thought also I'd take out my Tonight single, and that would even made a better album cover. Although it looks like a live album, this looks almost like the, you know, Seconds Out 2 or something like that. And then a little picture of that there. So that is my second choice. I thought that would have made a better cover. Would have made that album feel a lot more serious. My third choice is Peter Gabriel. And we've got the Kiss the Frog single.
Perfect.
There's my 45 of that. It says it's from us. So the point here is that I've always hated that album cover because I hate Peter Gabriel in the ill-fitting 1990s blue suit. It's just not a good look on him, so I never liked that album cover. So yeah, I think that Kiss the Frog album cover would have looked better than that. And then I actually had a second one from that, the Blood of Eden single, and that would have been cooler too. You see, it's kind of like all body sort of thing, right? But yeah, Kiss the Frog, I think, is a really good one. So that is my first. That is my first bank of 3. Let's go quickly over to the comments and see what's coming in here. Duke, beginning of the end. Let's see. I'm still getting complaints on the. As I was telling these guys, it's working all fine for Zoom. It's a StreamYard thing going on, unfortunately.
Well, it's a setting on your. It's a setting.
Yeah.
And I can't. If I could only log into your computer and fix it, I would. But I can't.
Should have tried a bunch of different ones. What else we got here? So yeah, everybody's just kind of saying hi. There's no real examples coming in yet. So let's move on to John.
Okay. John, you're up.
All right. So my first pick. Hopefully everybody can hear me out there. Okay.
You sound great.
Great. I'm just kidding. Hey, so my first pick. Every time I saw this cover, I remember seeing this, I think, at my friend's house when he had gotten a hold of it. And we were just getting into this little thrash band out of California called Metallica. And so my first pick was the Creeping Death single, which I just think that's just, as much as I love the Ride the Lightning cover, which they went with that title, obviously, and that works, I still think that Creeping Death cover is amazing. And a great B-sides with it with Am I Evil and Blitzkrieg. Just a very, very a very memorable album for us. My second pick was it originally was going to be one particular song from Iron Maiden. However, I realized, wait a second, Women in Uniform's not on an Iron Maiden album, so I can't use that. So I went with Wasted Years instead. Again, Wasted Years, a very memorable single for me because there's just so much going on with this thing. You get I know there's a few Easter eggs with this, but then the B-side, I love the Adrian Smith song Reach Out, which is probably why I love the ASAP project so much. And then of course you have the comedic Sheriff of Huddersfield. So I just think to me, and plus I love Wasted Years. I just think that's like probably one of my favorite Iron Maiden songs of all time. My last pick is going to be a little bit more obscure, but kind of walk with me with this one. So recently, the band Warlord recently released this album called Free Spirit Soar. Very good album. A very nice tribute to its leader who passed away back in 2021. This particular single is for a song that's on that album called Behold a Pale Horse. And it was on a previous project that Bill Samas had done called Lordian Guard. This is a CD cover of the album. This is a cassette version of that same album. And then they also did like an anthology with their 2 albums that they did together. So there's a bunch of different things. I just thought when I saw this single, I thought, wow, that really looks pretty cool too. I think that would work too. But anyway, Warlord might be maybe Warlord Lordian Guard's a little off everybody's radar, but epic metal, power metal, if you love that prog metal kind of stuff with like Mark Zonder on drums, of course he started Warlord with Bill Samas. Very good band to check out. I highly recommend it.
Awesome. And that is the right cover. That's the right photo, right?
That is the photo for the single, for the Behold the Pale.
I'll tell you, John.
Behold the Pale Horse single, 12-inch single, yes.
It was hard to locate a good...
Yeah.
It's pixelated, and it goes way below my standards.
I know.
It's okay. You get the
idea. There's just not much out there with that one, so I apologize for that.
Again, I want to reach out to everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Please leave a like if you haven't, because, well, we like likes, for God's sakes. It helps the algorithm, and YouTube likes it. So please leave a like. And please comment. We'll try to get to you as soon as we can get to you. We may miss you, but it's not on purpose. It's just there's a lot of people here, and we'll hit even higher numbers as we keep going. So again, welcome everybody here tonight.
Yeah, Grant, we do have a mention for Nazareth Love Hurts, and I saw something for Kiss I Love It Loud a little earlier. We got ZZ Top Viva Las Vegas.
Martin, you're gonna have to move over.
Yeah, they're coming in. What's that?
You got to be right on that mic. You're
Deep
doing
throat
this.
that thing.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. Go ahead. Over to Jamie.
Oh, okay. Jamie, you're up.
All right. Let's see. My first one here is Fire and Ice by Pat Benatar. Now, if you look
shit,
at this cover,
I just had it up. All right.
When I'm talking about Pat Benatar, I always have it up. Cha-ching!
Oh my goodness. Well, that's not. We have a G-rated audience, Jamie.
Keep it G-rated. Come on,
big girl. If you
Someone get a fire extinguisher. Okay, go ahead.
If you look at this cover here, I always thought the original looked a little bit like. I like this pose better, but when I was a kid, I always thought it was a little Laverne and Shirley. Like you can imagine Laverne and Shirley's little window there to their apartment down there. It looks 50s-ish. This one, there's more color in it. I like the pose better. So yeah, that. And then if you look here, I have another one. And then I got this Spanish one. And then I have this other Spanish one here because that other Spanish one came with a poster. And if you look at the poster,
is it the poster we all hope?
It's the cover of the 45.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know. Why do you have so many copies? I don't know. But I do have 3 cassettes. I do have my CD. I do have my 8-track. And you guys are like, geez, Laszlo, do you have a reel-to-reel? Because that's the only one missing.
Yeah, do you have it on reel-to-reel?
Reel as well that was never played. It's still
Wait a minute, that's a reel-to-reel?
Yes, Grant. It's a
Holy crap.
Man, that's pretty late in the
wow, that's
reel-to-reel
hardcore.
game.
Yeah, it still has the tape on it, so it's never been played.
Where'd you find that? Where did you find that?
I found it at Used Kids, but I found it on their eBay store and had to outbid some son of a bitch for it.
Let me ask you.
Going back and forth, back and
All
forth.
right, I have to keep going. How much did that cost?
I think it cost.
It's just between us. You don't have to let everybody
I
know.
I think it got up to about $70. I think we were just pissing each other off, and nobody wanted to not win it.
That's the beauty of the eBay
If he
auction.
wasn't there, I
Because,
think I would have got it for 30. If I wasn't there, he probably would have got it for 30.
oh my God, that's great.
Yeah,
All right.
so we were our own worst enemies. All right. My second one. Who do I got here? Okay, my second one, Pat Benatar. If You Think You Know How to Love Me, which I like this cover because this was her apartment in 1979. And you kind of get like a peek into, where she was living at the time. Now, yes, this one is iconic. I don't think I would necessarily. Here's my Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. That's my original master recording. That's my one with the hype sticker. That's my Argentina copy, and that's my everyday copy. But if they did change it to that one, if they would have went with that one, I wouldn't have been pissed.
Right.
So my next one, let's see here. I got Invincible by Pat Benatar. Invincible. Now, the thing about this
God, I hope I got the right one. Yep, I got it.
The thing about this one is Invincible came out in June 24th of 1985. Okay. It was came off from the movie Legend of Billie Jean that came out July 19th, 1985. I kept waiting for that soundtrack to come out. Legend of Billie Jean soundtrack. There was never a soundtrack released. Never. I'm still kind of waiting for it. Like maybe they're going to generate it someday. Like here's a soundtrack to a movie that, always needed one. Never came out. It was a hit that summer of 85, then went away. It's off the Billboard charts. Then comes the album, Seven the Hard Way, right? And now this comes out October 30th. So this song is kind of forgotten about. and the song is on here, and it always felt tacked on, like it was, it should have belonged on the soundtrack. So maybe this was the only cover it should have ever had. Maybe it should have been a single. Maybe it should have been on the soundtrack that never existed, and that was the only way it should have been on an album. Always felt tacked on. 7 Hard Way.
Oh my God. I just have to laugh. But I'm looking at all the comments. I don't think anybody really has anything. Come on, everybody. You got to have. Okay, here we go. D Rocker, Pretenders, 2,000 Miles, the 7-inch. I've actually, you know what, D Rocker? I've got that. And it's a great cover. I'm with you on that one. I'm just looking at everybody else. Let's see.
We've got the mention a Number of the Beast was originally meant as the cover for Purgatory single, but was too good for that. Yeah, remember that one?
That must be way back because I don't see it. But anyway, that's okay. I don't see much in the thing. Let's just keep going. Peter Kerr, you're up.
Okay, well, let's talk about Iron Maiden and the Number of the Beast. And there it is. So
look at that. Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Literally.
I actually like this better than the cover, the Number of the Beast cover. I think this is more dangerous. You look at this album cover or this cover of the single and you go, well, that's evil. That's bad. So you got to put it on. So there you go. Number of the Beast. Good. Next one. Michael Schenker Group, Cry for the Nation. So we're all aware of Michael Schenker in the doctor's or the dentist chair for the album, but I like this album, this singles cover. It's got a different angle, and he's tilting his head. I think somebody's saying something to him, but I think it's just an interesting variation.
He looks like Sting.
He does, actually. You're right.
He kind of looks like Sting.
Like Sting mixed with Dolph Lundgren from Rocky IV.
Exactly, John. 100%.
Yeah. All right. One bombshell to the next. Is there such a thing as a bad leader forward cover? I don't think so. So let's have a look at Kiss Me Deadly.
This is a great 45 sleeve. I will leave it at that.
Are you okay there, John? You all right?
Fine.
Sure. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
What were you doing? I missed it.
Yeah.
I thought he was patting himself on the back.
He was massaging himself.
Massaging the shoulders. They were a little stiff, so sorry.
So we've got the brunettes with Pat Benatar in the show. Here's for the blondes. Leader forward, Kiss Me Deadly.
That's a good one.
Unsurpassable.
Look, Peter Jones is getting uncomfortable. It's okay. We're all friends here, Peter Jones. It's okay. You don't have to get uncomfortable.
Got a message for you too, with or without you as well.
Yep.
All right, on to Grant.
All right, here we go. All right. If I can remember what I even chose. Let me go. I have to scroll back up to the top. Okay, this is one. I bought this 45 when I was a kid, and I always thought, man, this 45 sleeve is great. Now, it kind of goes against the whole premise of the show, because I don't think that this is better than the album cover. But I just need to throw it out there because I thought this was a great 45 sleeve. And I think it could have been an album cover. I'm going to go with Styx, Come Sail Away. And you've got, of course, we know Come Sail Away is about aliens and everything, but I like this 45 sleeve. And I think this could have been an album cover. Look at it. It looks great. Now, is it better than The Grand Illusion? Your mileage may vary, but I think this is decent. You don't get a lot of artistic statements here with these 45 covers, and I think this has that.
Is that the Boston guitar coming to an end?
It looks like it. The sun behind it.
Wow, that's true.
The star behind it looks like the what do you call it? The neck of the guitar.
Of course, everybody they were all friends. They stole from everybody, so it's all good. All right, my next one, I got on a tangent, and I thought, well, this is Styx, and I thought I love Styx, but there must be other Styx 45 sleeves that I think are great, and I found one that should have been on this album cover because I think the album cover from 1990, Edge of the Century, is not good, but This is the Love at First Sight. I think this is a promo CD. But look, on Edge of the Century, they did away with the Styx logo. Why would you ever get rid of the Styx logo when it's so great? And then you've got this. I don't know who this is. Is this Dennis? I don't know whose eyeball that is, but I like it better than Edge of the Century. So I went with that. I thought, well, and no one knows about this.
Yeah, Edge of the Century is a crap cover, that's for sure.
Crap cover. Okay, let's be honest. This isn't all that better, but hey, you've got the Styx logo. You've got some dude's eyeball, or maybe it's a female. We're all inclusive here on the Contrarians. I don't know, but we'll go with that. My number 3, I'm going to go with the Knack. Now, some people don't like this single, but I don't have a problem. Is it My Sharona remade? I don't know, but I think it's a decent 45. I think it's better than the album cover from, But the Little Girls Understand. I'm going to go with, Baby Talks Dirty. Of course, this is a purely Christian show here. This means nothing. She looks very happy because she's sitting very comfortably in the chair. But I think this is a decent 45. Is it My Sharona remade? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, those first 3 album covers from them are really crap, eh? They're pretty bad.
Well, I like Round Trip. That's the best one.
I think the first album cover is fantastic. I think it's like a bit of a send up of the Beatles. I like it.
Well, I think this one's fantastic because she looks really comfortable. And, well, she is losing her shoe. That is a bit of a problem, but I'm okay with that. So
It's
there
like
you
the
go.
1-300 phone line.
You said it. I didn't. She's really getting ready for her Christian Bible study right before. So I'm just leaving it at that.
There's a certain theme to this show at the moment. Did I miss the brief?
There's no theme. Look, she's getting ready. What is she holding? Is that a
telephone?
I think you guys switched the topic on me.
I don't know. It's just I think it's a great cover. So we're leaving it there.
All right.
We're over to Martin. Unless Martin wants to look at some comments, we have a lot more comments.
We're back to Bunny Carlos. We've got Cheap Trick now.
So
I'm going with Cheap Trick, Don't Be Cruel.
Hold on.
Luxury album. And I never liked the Lap of Luxury album cover. There's the album cover. So it's just the 2 guys, right? But the Don't Be Cruel, you got a different Don't Be Cruel there, but it doesn't matter. Well, okay, so that one's all right. But I like this one because it's got all 4 guys on the cover.
That's the other one.
Yeah, that's still Don't Be Cruel. But then I've even got Ghost Town as well. And this is kind of funny because you got the 2 guys, and then up in the corner, I think he's in a picture frame. You've got Rick, but there's no bun anywhere. So that's a weird one where you got 3 guys on the cover. But yeah, I thought both of those look better than the actual Lap of Luxury cover. Let's see. Next, I've got Accept Midnight Mover.
Yeah, it disappeared.
The Accept Metal Heart album cover. Never liked it. We'll start with this as Grant gets the single up. Never liked that blue background. Never liked this. I've heard the story. Someone told me that somebody owns that. Somebody has that sculpture. But anyways, the Metal Heart sculpture is really cheesy looking. So you get it in full there, and on that blue background with the lurid red on that. So yeah, I think the single looks a lot better. Looks a lot more heavy metal. In fact, my single looks even better than that because it's even more of a tight shot of it. So it looks even more sort of mechanical. And I like the colors on it with just sort of the red and the black with a little bit of white. So I think that's way better than that.
Correct. I agree 100%.
Okay. And my last one is a little Australian content here for Peter. We've got Night Attack by the Angels. So I will, you've got it up there. Thank you. Basically, there's the album cover. And I always hated this album cover.
That's bad. Yeah.
So incredibly hateable. There's Doc Neeson looking really nerdy. These terrible colors, and this night, he's lasers coming out of his eyes. The white background, brutal cover. And this looks a lot better. It's at night. It's like a kind of a destroyed company. I think the text is all really cool. That looks much better. This album cover is so bad that it actually affects your enjoyment of the music inside. And I was a bit disappointed with this album. The production's not very good on it, but there you go. It's my last one. Let's see what else we've got here. Angels River Dance, says Kyle. Johnny Metal knows a thing or two about Accept. Boston, we're ready. More Boston coming up a little later. Mental Health by Quiet Riot. They changed the spelling to Bang Your Head. Let's see. All right, there we go. Over to John.
Okay, so my next one, I forgot that they had made a single for this one, but now some people will say when you look at this album cover, that is just one of the cheesiest looking drawings of a beastly looking thing, but then you look at the single for Flatzilla. Whoop, wrong one.
Wait a minute. Nope. Wait a minute. Oh no, I got it screwed up because John, you're going backwards. And
sorry.
I'm a monkey with fiber optic cable.
All right, sorry about that.
Sure.
But I thought this picture was a really cool picture. I thought it matches the attitude, I think, of the album. And, I think it's just a great band shot. But, of course, this character, this mascot, has become a lot more refined, I guess, over the years. And kudos to them. They've made Flotzilla look pretty darn special. So I think kudos to Flotsam and Jetsam for that. Plus, as a killer album, Flotzilla is a very good instrumental, which was actually left off the original vinyl. My next one is another thrash choice from one of the big four. Now, you're probably wondering, why would you want to have this as an album cover? Because who in their right mind is going to carve Slayer in their back?
The Count would. The Count's here in the chat. Count, would you put Slayer on your back? We need to know.
So yeah, the Serenity and Murder album, single from the Divine Intervention. But yeah, holy crap, that could easily make an album cover, a very brutal album cover. Again, who in their right mind would do something like that? I just don't get it. But
it reminds me of Black Flag for some reason.
Maybe.
I don't know why.
Maybe.
There's a couple of Sydney headbangers that did exactly the thing in the 80s.
It seems more punk than it seems metal.
Yeah. Very, very, very punkish.
There's a few of them.
Yeah.
DC says, I love music, but not that much.
Yeah, sorry, DC.
Classic. I love it.
All right. And then my last pick for this go around.
Count.
There you go, Count. Or Ralph, there's a good one. So then my last pick would be the single from Raven for Break the Chain with Udo. And I see that with the bonding of the hands, but it's wrapped in the barbed wire. I think that looks pretty darn cool to me. So, compared to, not that All for One is bad, but I'll tell you what, that's pretty wicked. So
that's pretty wicked.
Yeah. I love it. So Ouch. There you go.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm bringing the pain today. So
Jeff Dennis says I would put Slayer in the trash.
Oh man.
Oh, ouch.
Heresy.
Oh man, you can't do that.
We've got a mention between Somebody to Love, 38 Special, Back to Paradise, Aussie Dreamer. But let's see what Jamie's got for us.
Yeah, Jamie, what you got?
1, 2, 3. I'm on 4. My fourth artist. I am going with Sex as a Weapon by Pat Benatar. I like this picture. It's from Seven the Hard Way. Now, when I was in high school and this came out, there was a girl in my class that looked a lot like this picture.
Uh-oh.
Not like Pat Benatar as much as like this picture. And I mentioned it one day, and I was like, Jamie's got a crush on, I forget her name, on so-and-so. I was like, yeah, I guess I do. She wouldn't go out with me. So this reminds me of Rejection. This is just Pat Benatar and some cool sunglasses. And this actually became an album cover. Mm-hmm. If you look at Best Shots, which came out in '89, it is that with the hand taken away.
I'll be darned.
I'll be darned. You learned something.
You fans, you know everything.
So, my next one. All right. Invisible Sex as a Weapon. The Ooh Ooh Song by Pat Benatar. I always like this little outfit. I have a poster of her in that little outfit. Now, why? Here's the reason why you wanted this single when it first came out. The A side is the Ooh Ooh Song, and the B side is the Ooh Ooh Song, all in Spanish. She sings it all in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can get that on her 1999 box set, 3 CD box set that has a bunch of that stuff on it. But at the time, until 99, that was the only way to get the Spanish version. And
well, Jamie, I just wanted to say she looks really happy in this photo. So
Yeah.
I think that really comes across. To, you know, if you're having a single, it's important to make an impact. So I think it makes an impact. So there you go.
All right. My next one is shit. I had it all in order, alphabetical order. Now everything is screwed up. Alphabetical order by artist. Now I don't know who's next.
Oh boy.
I don't think anybody chose who's next at all. I've seen all the images. No one chose that.
Was I on B?
You're on number 6.
Okay. All right. B for Benatar. And now this one is All Fired Up by Pat Benatar. Now, I always like this picture. Always love that picture because it looks like she's got a little thickness in those thighs right there. I always dug that. You know, Pat getting a little, she's always a tiny thing. I was like, oh, look at Pat getting a little thickness. I love it so much. I keep this up on the wall. I got this poster. I walked into a record store, National Record Mart, 1988, and they were putting them up on the wall, a promoter, and I said, can I have one of those? And she gave me one. So I keep that up on the wall. And another thing about this is right in the middle of the pandemic, when no one was at work, I went to work one day, and, you know, I always went like once a month, and I put this in my cubicle, but I had a high wall behind my cubicle, and it was up high. And as you walk down the hallway, like the CEO and the president, everyone could see this one Pat Benatar thing up there. So everyone knew where Laszlo worked. And I took a picture of it one time, and I said, I put it on Pat Benatar fan page on Facebook, and I said, can you guess where I work? And Roger Capps liked my post, the bass player for Pat Benatar on the first 4 albums, and on her first band, Coxswain's Army, he was on that too. And I was like, the Roger Capps? And then he requested me as a friend, and then he was like wishing me happy birthdays, and I'm like, I'm getting happy birthdays from Pat Benatar's old bass player? The 14-year-old in me, his head is exploding.
That's a beautiful day.
So what is next?
Wait a minute, Jeff. I'm seeing Pat Benatar albums I didn't know even existed before. Oh God. They're all singles, though, Jeff. They're all singles.
Benatar. Was that my third one?
I think. Wait a minute. Let me look. You did.
Think so.
When I dropped everything, I got.
You've got. That's your third one.
Okay.
And then we got.
Now you can regroup.
You can.
Okay, I can regroup. Everything's going in alphabetical order. Back in.
Yeah.
Wanted to mention, there's a mention from D Rocker for Great White Mistreater. We've got the Sleeve of the Beatles, Old Brown Shoe, Ballad of John and Yoko as a substitute for the Let It Be album sleeve because it has Yoko on it, and she's interfered quite a lot. Let's see what else.
I saw Breaking the Law from Judas Priest from Peter Jones.
Cool. All right, let's go back to Australia.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so we're up to the letter C, folks. The letter C, and this is Clash, Radio Clash.
Yes.
So this was off a Greatest Hits, the story of the Clash on Broadway. It's not on an actual studio album, but I've just included it here because I think it's a really cool cover. It's of a transistor radio. You see all the various countries, and then there's a really cool back cover of all the transmission of Radio Clash.
I like it.
It's a killer single too. Next one, Martin's favorite band, or one of them, we're talking about The Damned, and this is one of the greatest Gothic album covers of all time, Phantasmagoria from 1984, 85, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the song I'm going to put up is Grimly Fiendish, and maybe it's not as good as Phantasmagoria, but I love it. I think it's got that Gothic feel, the crown of thorns. It's really kind of creepy, and I think it's a killer. I love the stylized The Damned, the album covers in this era. I think it's just special. You like this one, Martin?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That would even made a good album title, right? Grimly Fiendish like that.
Yep.
You know what, Peter? I don't know why it reminds me of this, but it reminds me of a church album cover. Remote
Yes.
Luxury, or
Yes.
you know what I mean.
Seance, all that sort of
Seance.
era.
It would have fit. You put the church on there, it could have fit right in.
Do you guys know
Yep.
Pat Benatar? Kind of looks a bit like a Pat Benatar cover, too.
Yeah, Jamie, is that Pat Benatar? Could that work for Pat?
I don't think so. The Crown of Thorns.
Not really her style.
No, not my style.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It's all right.
Okay. All right. Next one I'm going to bring up is Scritti Politti. Now, Scritti Politti started off as a bit of a post-punk band, very subversive, and they'd do sort of little underground album covers where it was all self-made. This is like a newsletter, which you used to have with punks in the, the late 70s. And they put out an album in 85 where they went fully synth pop. Green Garside discovered Fairlight synthesizers. And this album cover, Would-Be's, which was a huge hit in the UK, not so much in America, a bit of a hit in Australia, and very stylized. And I like it a lot. You see, you've got the photo of Aretha Franklin and a reverse. And I just think it's just a very nice, precise sort of photograph. And Would-Be's, Scritti Politti. Check them out.
Excellent. All right. So that's 3.
Okay, over to Grant.
All right, here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. This is a good one because I just did a ranking of the Huey Lewis catalog in the warehouse. So this fits right in. And I'm going to go with this one. If I could read it, I don't have my glasses on, but this is I have to laugh. This is a single off a Picture This. And if everybody knows the Picture This album cover, it's got just a big old head of Huey on the cover. I think this would have been better. You have the Huey Lewis logo. You could put Picture This up there. You have the band shot, even though I know the debut had a band shot, but I think this would have worked out a lot better. But maybe that's just me. Another one I picked, my number 5, I'm going to go with the Cars. And I think that the cover for All Shook Up's okay, but this was the single off the record, and I think that the single was, I kind of like that. Now it goes against the grain. It doesn't have the female with the doing something on the album cover, but I don't know. I don't think a lot of those Cars records, those album covers are all that great, but whatever. I think this is all right. I like this. So that's my other pick. Now, this one could be controversial because we love stirring the pot. And I'm going to go to Rush, Hold Your Fire. I'm not crazy about that album cover. Hugh Symes, I like some of his stuff, but then there's stuff I don't like. And I don't particularly care for Hold Your Fire. You've got 3, what are those? Atoms? I don't know what the hell's going on in there, but this is the single. And at least you've got the band on the front. I don't know. Is that better? Or is you rather look at
Getty's
the
ponytail, though.
I was gonna say Getty's babushka look with the ponytail in the back.
I think he looks cool.
The raccoon
Quit judging. Quit
He looks
being
like
racist.
Daniel Boone. He looks like Daniel Boone.
I think he looks great. And I think Alex Lifeson looks cool. And I think Neil looks great. I don't know. Is this better than Hold Your Fire? I'm throwing it out there.
I don't know. Alex looks like he came out of Flock of Seagulls, actually.
Well, that's what think about when this came out.
So does Neil. Neil's really got the new wave haircut going there.
But those guys love that whole new wave thing.
Yeah.
If
I
you
can
saw
see
that,
why they embraced it, you
if
know?
you saw that tour, the 3 balls got blown up like if you were on the floor above you, which was kind of cool.
I am jealous. Kyle, you're 100% right. Horrible picture of Getty, whoever Getty is. Misfits Bulletin. That this one is awesome? I don't know. Well, anyway, I thought I'd throw it out there because I don't think people know much about this picture sleeve. So I'm just going to let everybody else decide what they think about it. I think it's okay. I like it. They never put themselves on the cover.
That's one of my favorite Rush songs.
It is a good one.
That's a good one. You know, I don't think it's a great record, but it's all right. Agree. Hold your fires. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate your backing of this. Jamie talking Pat now 3 balls. Jamie talking Pat.
Now 3 balls.
Logan, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know what he's doing.
Trying to be sexual innuendos there or something.
Getty's hair looks like roadkill in that picture. Well, it was. What was this, 87? Of course.
Yeah,
That's
it was the
just the way it
times.
is. It was the times. Getty wearing a Daniel Boone cap. I don't know. I think they look cool. So there you go. All right. Wait a minute. The counts. Getty's worst haircut. They're trying to be relevant, count. Come on. You had that haircut back in the day. You know you did. All right. Martin, you're up.
Okay, next I'm going with Deep Purple, Call of the Wild. This is what House of Blue Light looks like. Right, so there's some passes in the way, but I mean this was never a good album cover. It's just this cheesy House of Blue Light behind a door. But the Call of the Wild picture looks really cool. It's got great colors with the owl eyes and stuff. Call of the Wild would have been it's a bit of a cliche, but it would have been a slightly better album title. I even think the logo looks good there with the text and all the color scheme, a little bit like the Metal Heart. I think that looks way better than the album cover. My second one is Boston, We're Ready. So this is all from Third Stage, and that looks like just another shot from the Sticks Come Sail Away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your We're Ready. And I've also got an Amanda here, which is not a great cover. And I've got a Can't You Say, which is not a great cover. And that's what your Third Stage. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, John. There it is there. So yeah, I just think it's obviously just another view, but looks pretty cool. I think that would have made a great album cover. And my fourth one, or my ninth, second to last, is a World Party from Private Revolution, Ship of Fools. There is your album cover. I never liked that album cover. I'm not crazy about this album. I mean, I worship the Waterboys. They're one of my favorite bands.
That's a great record.
Yeah, I like Waterboys 15 times more, though.
No.
Anyways, not a great album cover. Just kind of messy. And I think Ship of Fools makes a really cool album cover. I think that's I love the composition of it and all the collage and everything. I think it looks just really, really cool. And then my last one is Twisted Sister, Leader of the Pack. That's what your Come Out and Play looks like. I mean, it's pretty similar, but what I like about it is the fact that you've got the motorcycle on it as well. And obviously, when this came out on vinyl, it was a die cut. You lifted up the manhole cover, and Dee Snider was in there. But yeah, I think that's just a slight improvement with the button in there for, of course, for Leader of the Pack, right?
Wait a minute, look at Klauser. Look at that.
All right. Oh yeah, there we go.
That's animatronics. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Roll. Okay, let's just take a quick look at the comments. We got Asia Don't Cry is a detail of the Alpha album cover. Thank you for that one. Let's see. Later Boston, great artwork, music not so much, says Ken White. Let's see what else. I never had that haircut, says Jeff Halvin. I had sort of Alex's haircut, I must confess.
Jeff, you had that haircut. I know you did. Don't be shy.
All right, let's go over to John.
Okay, so let me keep it in the thrash department. So this was the first album of the John Bush era with Anthrax from Sound of White Noise, Black Lodge. I don't know. There's something about that I think it looks a lot better than the than the photo that they used for the Sound of White Noise album personally. But Black Lodge, obviously a very creepy song, just but a really strong song from the album. Always one of my favorites.
Terrible album cover for that album, right?
Yes, I completely agree. But a decent first outing with John on vocals. My next one, let's go back to the 70s a little bit. Let's take a little visit with the Tubes. And let's go a little White Punks on Dope.
God, all right, Johnny Metal. I hope I got the right one. There are multiple.
Okay, well, let's see
sleeves.
All right, let's see what we did here. Yep. Yeah, that
right.
one works. Yeah, no, that one works. Boy, I can remember seeing this as a kid because my brother had this, and it just has stuck with me all these years. And, of course, now the album cover with the ripping of the album covers, that's pretty cool too. But there's something really freaky about this. I think you got a lot of cool photos of the band and some live shots there. So I think that actually works pretty cool. So anyway, an iconic song from the band too. My next one, now this one I kind of cheated a little bit because the song actually doesn't appear until a later album. But when you talk about when the Tigers broke free from the Pink Floyd The Wall, if they actually did release an actual Pink Floyd The Wall soundtrack, this would have worked just fine for me. I like it. And of course, this 45 is a very, you get to hear the When the Tigers Broke Free, and then the B-side is just the orchestral version of Bring the Boys Back Home. But a great, pretty cool thing. And of course, I mean, the 45 of this anyway is really pretty cool with all the photos from the movie and stuff. But if they never actually released a soundtrack cover to this, but it would have worked. Mm-hmm. My last pick, I got to bring Wasp in somehow. And I've always loved the cover for the single for The Idol, even though I do love the Crimson Idol album cover. I, of course, have to bring The Idol in for this because it's probably one of my favorite tracks from the album. And I just love that the Jonathan name in blood, and you got the guitar string hanging from the cross. I just think that's pretty cool looking. And you, of course, got an ominous looking Blackie standing over it. So there you go.
There you go. That's good. All right, cool.
Jamie.
All right.
All right. In 1991, an artist named Pat Benatar released a blues album, believe it or not. And it was called True Love. And there is the cover. The cover is okay. But the song True Love on the 45 is a much better cover.
Yep.
By a million miles, if you ask me.
I think
Not
it
a lot
looks
of people
great.
are down with the blues album. I think it's fine. Is it in my top tier or anything? No, but I like it. All right, next one. Can I seriously be a little different on my next one? Like seriously. Okay. We're all having fun here, but I want to be, a little different. 12-inch single by Pat Benatar. Painted Desert. I always thought this would have made a great album cover. Painted Desert. It's off of Tropico. Now, if you look at the Tropico cover, what it looks like to me and always looked like to me is they took a bazillion pictures of Pat with this owl, and this one was the least shitty one and the one they rolled with. Because you can't, the owl's going to do what the owl's going to do. So the owl's probably like doing this, flying away. We got the owl on her arm. Let's roll with it. And I think Painted Desert is a better cover. My next one, going with that theme of a little different, One Love, 12-inch single by Pat Benatar. And this is also off of this one is off of Wide Awake in Dreamland, where she's kind of in a crowd there. And I think now if you get the cassette single, which I also have, I should have busted that out.
Yeah, that's a fail, Jamie.
You get to see her stretched out. You get to see, bare feet, and she looks very comfortable in that one. So, but there you go. And for my last one to go off on a Here you go. Here's your cassette single.
All right, nice.
Don't Walk Away by Miss Pat Benatar. It's a pretty cool cover of her in the windstorm there. Looks like she needs some help. I'd help her out.
Well, it looks like in the other photo she
Blow her
took,
away.
but Jamie, it looks like in this cover that you threw up there, it looks like she took cover.
Yes. Now the cover you got up, I got that on a shirt. That is a great picture right there.
So how many different covers are there for this?
That one, I mean, that might be a 12-inch. I'd have to look at my 12 inches to see if that's in there. It might
Well,
be.
the 12-inch could be different than the cassette, you know.
Yeah, but that's a different one.
I thought
Well,
I like
honorable
this one
mention real
though.
quick. The UK copy of Pat Benatar's Heartbreaker. We Live for Love, which is a nice close-up picture. Looking for a Stranger, very 80s. And Let's Stay Together, which is a cool little picture of her and her hat there. Very 90s, early late 80s hat.
Sweet.
On to the next person.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, I just gotta laugh. Everybody in the comments just oh my god, everybody's on fire tonight. Well, you know, if Jamie's gonna do a whole thing on Pat Benatar, you have to be ready.
Did I? I didn't mean to.
Oh, I didn't know.
Every single one.
Turned out
Jamie,
that way.
all Pat Benatar. Check. They were.
Classic. Hey, they're all great covers. I agree with you 100%. So, all right. Oh, okay. So, all right, Peter Kerr, you're up next. Let's hear it.
Alrighty. Well, this one's from Australia. We may not be good at breakdancing, but we do some good rock. And this is Hoodoo Guru's I Want You Back. So this is
That's
off the
a
Stone
great
Age
cover.
Romeo's album. The cover of the Stone Age Romeo's album is the one that's got Raquel Welch and the 10,000 BC with the big dinosaur. But I like this. And this song's actually about an ex-band member where he says, you can go, I don't want you back. So that's really, even though it says I want you back, he's being sarcastic. Nothing like a good ass cheek 45 cover. Cold Chisel, Hold Me Tight. So this is, you haven't got it?
Cold Chisel.
Yeah, I put it in, Hold Me Tight. All right. Keep going.
Peter, wait a minute. Let me go find it. I've got it. I told you, everybody knows that these things disappear. I've got it. Hold on. You can start talking. I'll bring it up.
All right, I'll go to the next one and we can come
No,
back.
go ahead. It's coming up.
Okay.
There you go.
Fantastic. Hold Me Tight. Wasn't that worth waiting for?
Very
in the
cheeky.
keyhole?
Well, it kind of goes along with whatever's been mentioned earlier today.
Yeah, so this is a theme show, even though it's not a conspiracy, folks. So much better than the 20th century album cover, which was like a drawing of a cityscape. So anyway, maybe it's controversial.
Well, I heard more than a handful is a waste, and that's just a rumor. I don't know.
Right, we might get cancelled after this.
Nah, well, maybe.
Yeah. Sniff in the Tears. Remember that song Driver's Seat? I do. Anyway,
I do.
Here's the single album cover. Kind of looks like a movie, an exploitation movie poster. Anyone saw MS-45? Anyway, looks like that.
Okay.
Oh, father and son edit. I'm not aware of that.
Well, you know, when I'm looking for these graphics, a lot of these 45s or these 12 inches, a lot of these singles, you kind of have to go with what you can find. And this was the best image that was available. It's different when you're looking for album covers, but singles.
That's the one I've got. Yeah, there you go.
Same kind of thing, though.
Yep, Driver's Seat. And finishing up with Tears for Fears, Woman in Chains.
That's
I
great.
thought that was a very, let's keep it really nice and artistic, a nice finish to the show because it's been very
risque.
In that theme. Yeah.
It's not been risque. We've been talking it's been very wholesome.
I was nice.
Yeah, we've been all nice.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me.
All right,
Over to you.
Excellent. All right, cool. All right. Okay, here we go. Well, speaking of very nice, this album cover I think needs some work because we've got I love this band. We did a whole damn series for a year on this band. John Clauser knows about it. He was on a lot of it. I'm talking April Wine. And you know that Nature of the Beast album? Why would you put an album cover with that horrible, what is that, a werewolf? What is that? What is the beast on there?
It's pretty cool album cover. It's
not as cool as this, because the Sign of the Gypsy Queen is way cooler. And I mean, she looks happy, and I think that would sell a lot of records, but I'm not saying anything about it.
She looks
But
cool.
is this better than Nature of the Beast? I'm going to throw it out to the panel. And I'm certain the panel will give honest ratings. That's all I'm looking at. I'm waiting. I will come back to everybody in the panel. So I think
Benatar on the cover?
Huh?
Is that
that's
Pat
the
Benatar on the
Gypsy
cover?
Queen?
No, is that Pat Benatar on the? Oh, okay. I just thought it was Pat Benatar.
I don't think that's Pat.
Okay.
Not with that rack.
Jamie had to go there. I would never have thought that. I always thought you were talking about the tattoo. Oh, you guys. God. Just
I tried to lift the standard. What happened?
Wait a minute. Before I go. All right. Sydney, all right. Wait a minute. I well, yeah, it's okay, but she's the Gypsy Queen. The Nature of the Beast, if you want to replace it with a generic Cleveland shot Grant, Jeff, that's the. Do you know anything about Sign of the Gypsy Queen? God,
I thought Tina Turner was a Gypsy Queen.
All right, my number 8. Now, this is going to be
Acid
questionable
Queen.
because
Acid Queen.
Anyway, I think this is a great cover. So, just between us girls, I like it. All right, so my next one, my number 8. I'm going to go with a band that, of course, the original cover is very iconic, but you cannot deny that this is also iconic, and I think this would have been a great album cover. We're going to go, if I could click the button. Oh, wrong one, Grant, you monkey. God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols. Now, you cannot deny that this is iconic and great. Now, I don't necessarily think that the color scheme on here works as well, but you could have put Never Mind the Bullocks, the Sex Pistols, and I think it would work. I'm going to let Martin weigh in. Martin?
Oh, I hate looking at that cover because I owned that damn thing at one time, and I let it go years and years.
Oh, it's worth a fortune.
Like maybe even $5. I mean, it was ages ago that I so many of those punk singles I had, but yeah, I did have that one. But
I know we're trying to wind it up, but anybody ever see the outtakes to High Fidelity? And John Cusack's going over to this woman's house, which is and he's going through the thing, and he pulls out the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen, and he damn near has a heart attack.
Wow, that was over 20 years ago, too.
Yeah, but it was worth a fortune then.
Too.
But I think it's great. I think it's still iconic. Give me a better image that would look on a t-shirt. It's great.
That would look nice on a blue t-shirt.
It would. All right, my next one, I'm going to go with The Cure. And I think this would have been a great. I don't think that first Cure album cover either, the one with the refrigerator and all that. I don't know. I never liked that so much. I think this is better. I think this would have been this would work out better, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I think this is okay. Like I said, I don't like that first Cure album cover, but I think this is an improvement. The other one, now we're talking the first Grateful Dead album, and I do have to admit, I do think that the first Grateful Dead album cover looks great. But the single from that record, Dark Star, I think looks just as good. It's not quite as psychedelic, but the photo is beautiful. The font is cool. This could be easily made up as an album cover. And it kind of got wasted on the single. That's just me. But I think it's great. Is it better than the first album? Well,
your mileage may vary. By Grateful Dead, and I think, man, I should like this band. And then I listen to the music and I go, man, I hate this band.
Well, it's an acquired taste. For one, you have to be in a large field with everybody wearing tie-dye on LSD. That's the first thing.
I think the biggest gulf between great album cover and not so great album is Blues for Allah, right? With that crazy heavy metal looking
Could
album.
be.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a very good album. So
Looks like an Ozark Mountain Daredevil cover. Not with that font. It's very psychedelic. Looks like anything is psychedelic on acid. The Elder of Rock. Yeah, that Sex Pistols cover is iconic. Webb, where have you been? We started this show an hour ago. Where have you been? We tried to hold it for you, but you're so late. All right, Jeff says it's not better. The Sex Pistols isn't better. Okay, well, I'm throwing it out there. I love the Sex Pistols cover, colors and all. All right, that's fine. All right, I guess we're done. I don't think anybody's thrown anything out. This
I
might have
got
been
that one cover that I said on the cassette where you could see the whole picture. I busted it out. There you go.
Wait a minute. Bring it up again, Jamie. I'm going to make you big.
Oh, I'm not going to make any jokes. Don't worry.
No, that's good. That's a good
Are
picture.
you-
That's just as good as
Explain
Innuendo
the comments, well.
on this show. We are on our quota of innuendos.
there was none. I was being truthful and very truthful.
Can't wait for the comments this week.
RHL says Blues for Allah is a great LP cover. Well, I don't know. Yeah, Webb, you let me down. You let me down, but I'll be okay. All right, I don't think anybody's thrown is Martin, myself, and Peter Kerr. But I want to thank everybody that popped into the chat. It's all about fun. Jamie's back, so don't panic. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been a fun show. It's always fun to do these shows. And I want to thank the panel. Wait a minute. Webb, Billy Squire. Yeah, it is coming up right now, and I'm over here. But yes, Billy Squire is premiering right now. All right. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming on. If you like to be on these chats, we'd love to have you. We have a Patreon if you'd like to become more involved, and there's a lot of great chats over there. You get a lot of videos that are premiered over there before we air them live. Check that out. Buy us a cup of coffee or a brew. We would love that. We have a Ko-fi. Check that out. We also have merch. Get yourself a darn shirt. Get yourself something. You deserve it. We also have, what else do we have? I think I might have covered it. Brain problem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm on a rant. So, but anyway, please, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. What's the topic? I'm not sure. Does anybody remember what's the topic?
I think we have one.
We don't have one. So
we'll work it out.
We'll work it out. So stay tuned. We will be back next week, and we'll see you then. In the meantime, go over to Grant's Rock Warehouse and watch the Billy Squire ranking, for God's sakes. All right, we'll see everybody. Have a good one. Martin, we need to work on your microphone.
Still live, eh?
Well, maybe. If you've got any time tomorrow, because I got a recorder show. If you got any time tomorrow, we can
This again early. I think we're still live, but let's just do this again. What we were supposed to do today and do it early. We'll just get on 10 minutes early before.